request, and I am kind of shocked that I've gotten requests for this, but I am going to go ahead and show you how to adjust shim type lifters. This is for Volkswagen. I know that Volvo uses the same design, and Mercedes-Benz for sure. Those three I can remember from the good old days using this type of lifter. And this is a mechanical shim type lifter. So mechanical lifters, no hydraulic lifters. These shims, all being marked here, are different sizes. And so when you have to replace a shim, you compress that one cylinder using this interesting looking tool. And then you remove the shim using this even more interesting looking tool. And then you measure the shim and you add or subtract a small amount from that. And then you reinstall it and check it again. I've got a TT, a Tectonics Tuning G-Grind cam, and so it has my specs here. Cold valve lash, and that means the engine's been sitting overnight. Intake and exhaust, that's the depth, that's the gap you want to have there. So I should be able to get a 0.8 in there and not able to get a 0.010 in there for intake. Exhaust a little bit wider. So there we go. What I'm going to do, there's one more tool, well, two more tools. You'll need this. This is how we get our measurements, and that is, right? So you can see I've got a 0.07 here, and there's an 11. So I think I was using, yeah, I can see intake, and I'll bet you for exhaust, I marked those two as E, and there you go, there's E. So these are my shims that I'll be measuring against, and hopefully we can get one valve. I just got one valve. Of course, I got to find that valve, figure out which valve it is that's tapping a little bit, so it is too loose. Could be that I had a piece of debris in there when I measured this and adjusted it the first time, but my loss is your gain for the three of you that were interested in knowing how to do this. We'll need that. And the last tool we're going to need is this right here, and this is to measure our shims. This is more for like brake rotors. This is not what I would consider to be a highly accurate one, but it allows me to take measurements in a fairly accurate enough way to make this work. So as you can see, every time I slide it back and forth, I can zero it, right? Let's try it, 0 there. All right, so it's not precise. It's usually pretty close. It's close enough that I can figure out what I need as far as bigger or smaller. All right, let's move over to the engine. I've already got the valve cover off, and I'll show you the procedure. All right, here we are at the engine. You can see my nice clean engine here. I've removed my valve cover. This cylinder, this is number 4, and I've got the exhaust on number 4 all the way up, and that's where we're going to take our measurement. So I'm going to go ahead now and get my feeler gauge, and I'm going to check and see. Again, the number we're looking for exhaust is between 15 and 17. Now, when I did this job, there was one that I just didn't have the right shim for. If it is that, well, then I got a bigger problem, but I'm hoping that maybe just a piece of trash got in there and I can adjust it and I'll be done. So let's see here, there's a 15. And there's a 17. Right, the 15 goes in just fine. And so does the 17. So right there is where I'm feeling I have an issue. All right, once you've got it pulled forward a little bit, you're going to take your magnet. Where'd I put it? There it is. All right, we're going to slide that forward. And there's our shim. This one's measuring 340. How do I know this? Because it literally says 340 on there. Now I'm going to take this, right? I'm going to take a measurement on it again just to verify. And 339. That's about normal, right? They're all going to be a little bit off. So 340. So since they were both too loose, I'm going to want to move up one size, right? 345. Let's see if I got one of those in the pile. All right, I'm starting to remember. It is in fact that one that is the one that was, I don't have the right size for. I'm out of 345s and I'm out of 350. So the next one I have is a 355. I'm pretty positive that's going to be way too tight. I'm going to go ahead and install this. If I don't have it, well, that's as far as I go. I'm going to have to order a 345 shim. I have a lot of shims. I just don't have that particular one. There we go. 315 is way too tight. Okay, so this one here has got a problem. I'm going to go ahead and mark that it is 345 that I need. And I'm just going to go ahead and check the rest of them. This one here is an intake. You can see the injector here. That's how we figure out which one of these are intake and exhaust. This one also happens to be up. I'll go ahead and make sure it's perfectly upright, like so. And that one there is supposed to be between 8 and 10, so I'll measure that one. Perfect. All right, I'm going to continue rolling it. All right, this exhaust one doesn't have any marking on it at all, so we're going to measure this one and see what we got. All right, and here's the 365, so let's go ahead and try that. That actually measures 367 when you take the exact measurement for it. Go ahead and put that in there, make sure that it's in. And take the measurement again here. And the 15 goes in. 17 goes in, so still a bit too loose. See if I have a 70. So that's pretty much how it works. You just take them out, and you measure them, you make adjustments, you put them back in. In my case, I have 2 that I'll have to order, which is amazing since I have probably 100 different shims sitting over there in the pile. But it is what it is. So this car will be off the road for at least a week until I figure that out. Till next time, my friends.